I'd like to welcome everybody to Marketing 100. My name is Neil Mayers. I'm going to be the professor for this course over the next 8 and plus weeks, plus a little bit of extra time for the final. The very first thing I want everybody to do is go into the course itself in Blackboard. I want you to go to Discussion Board, and under the Let's Introduce Ourselves thread, I'd like everybody to upload some information, which you will see instructions for on the post, as well as an image or a picture of yourself. Really, the goal for this course, I will tell you, is to understand that marketing is probably the most universal topic you're going to study while you're at Humana. We are all subject to marketing information every day, whether it be through an election or through television or media, as well as through our daily activities. Anybody that's worked in a call center has dealt with marketing. Anybody that's been on a fundraiser has worked with marketing. Goodness, anybody that has worked in hospitality has had to deal with marketing. My goal is to demystify this and make you want to learn more about it. From a housekeeping standpoint, my office is located in Culpeper in the annex room number 7. The number's on there. I don't use it very often, and I never check the voicemail. The best place to reach me is via email, which I check many times a day. My office hours are listed there, as you can see. I am, by the way, in Stafford every other week, and I'm in Fredericksburg once a week on those days, and we'll have office hours after classes, as you can see listed there. Now, on my background, just to let you know, I have 30 years of experience that I'm bringing to this course, practical experience in marketing and sales. Starting with I spent out of grad school, spent 5 years as a brand manager with Kraft, had the opportunity to work on both established as well as new products. 7 years after that with Cadbury Beverages. The last year and a half or so was as the marketing manager for Cadbury Beverages Canada. Fascinating experience if you ever get the chance to work internationally. And then prior to having my own recruiting business for 16 years, I spent 5 years as the Vice President of Sales and Marketing for RUS, which was a $300 million industrial services company where, in addition to other things, I had responsibility for a call center and a sales force of over 150 people. Now, the course itself is going to be broken into 4 sections. The first is going to really talk about establishing marketing plans themselves, all the elements that need to go in it, and the things that a marketer has to be aware of in developing such a plan. Environmental forces, for example. We have no control over the environment as people. Marketers don't have a lot of control over the environment that they're dealing with, at least on a day-to-day basis. We're going to talk about that actually in Chapter 3. The second group, really into Chapter 4, gets into consumer behavior. We understand buyers and markets. Third section is going to then break into research and segmentation. Now that you understand how buyers think, how do you group them into segments and effectively research and segment them. And last but not least, talk about tools and new products, advertising, marketing, sales, etc., or advertising, sales, promotions, consumer promotions, etc., and how to then dealing with the 4 Ps. Now, the majority of what you're going to do is we are going to live in Blackboard in the weekly modules tab. Everything you need to know is going to be in there. Every week assigned that for each week, all the things you're going to need are in there. You're not really going to need, for example, to go in the discussion board after the Let's Introduce Ourselves. It is going to include reading. It's going to include a discussion board item as well as PowerPoint presentations and the weekly quizzes you'll do on there. In addition, on Blackboard, you're going to find things that are helpful. The syllabus is right above weekly modules. Some information on myself. The tests and quizzes, you're really only going to need tests and quizzes for the final exam. The weekly quizzes are all listed in the weekly modules, as well as sections on both Blackboard and Presentation Help are in there as well. Now, each week within that weekly module, there's going to be 4 basic things, 4 or 5 basic things. First of all, the reading you need to do for each week will be listed. The discussion board and all the information and the link to that discussion board to the thread. You do not have to go through the discussion board tab on Blackboard to get there. You can get all the information you need is going to be in the weekly module. Below that's the presentation or the worksheet that you're going to need to do, as you can see there, with some videos and support to do that. And then down below, I wouldn't see it on this here, but would be where the weekly quiz is. In addition, some weeks I'm going to have other support materials and information for you to look at. And just to stress, every week all of the elements are due to be completed in the module, the test, the quiz, the presentation and the discussion board by Sunday night at midnight. Now, you need the textbook for this class. You do not need a Connect code, but you do need the textbook. The current version of the book is that we're using is Marketing the Core 7th edition. Hard copy, loose leaf, or ebook is fine. If you can get it rental, that's fine with me. If you can get it, honestly, if you get it 6th edition someplace less efficiently, that'll work for this course. I will point out to you that tests and quizzes are open book, so you need to get a copy of the book. Grading. Really kind of an overview. Quizzes will be worth 20%. There's 8. Each is worth 25 points. There's 8 presentations worth 25 points. There are 8 discussion boards worth 25 points each. The final exam will also be worth 20%. And then there's a final project which is listed in the weekly modules tab, which will be 20% as well. The Grade Center grades will be out of 1,000 points. You can see to get 900, you need 900 points to get an A, etc. I would also note the PowerPoint presentations are probably about 4 to 6 pages each. They're not super long, and it's going to list what you need to cover. And you can look at the presentation help section if you need it. And lastly, discussion board. Each week you will need to do a 150-word post and 2 25-word replies to other people. Now, what to expect from me? I'm going to share with you the results of a class survey, and I tell you that this survey is pretty representative of the scores that my classes get every year. First of all, I will tell you that almost everybody participated in this. If the school average is 60 or 70, I'm usually more in the 80+% range. People are engaged. How much time did you have to put into the course? And I'm going to warn you, 12 out of 15 said either a lot or a huge amount. On the other hand, if you asked 15 out of 15 said they got either a lot or a huge amount out of it. Everybody said that I treated them fairly, and overall, the course got excellent, very good or excellent ratings. Everybody gave it one of the good or excellent. You're going to put a lot into this class, but I sincerely believe, and the results would bear this out of surveys, that you're going to get a lot out of it as well. With that said, I wish everybody the best of luck. I look forward to working with you. If you have any questions, let me know, and let's get started.